Hey everybody, Zach again at NewTutorial.com, coming in making a video for you today, and oh my goodness, this is going to be another one of those videos I don't do this very often. It's just lately, the world has just gone crazy, and so yeah, this is another video where if you have the little ones next, you're watching the video, go ahead and put them outside of earshot or screenshot. Because we're going to talk about some things, I'm going to show you some things going on right now. It's just the world has just gone crazy, and so yeah, in my other video that I put up, the world has just gone nuts. That one got demonetized by YouTube. I'm sure this one will as well, but I'm not going to keep it from, sharing, what I see out there with you guys and, just pointing out the obviousness of the times we live in. So I really don't care if they demonetize my videos. It's going to happen anyway. Yeah, it's just going to happen. And so anyway, here's the deal, folks. They're going to put a 45-foot tall naked woman, okay? Hope you got the little ones out. All right, pause the video. A 45-foot tall naked woman on the DC Mall next to the Washington Monument. They're going to put it there, and the story came out this last week. It was on the front page of Drudge. It was on, most of, it was USA Today carried the article. Lots of, news places carried the article. And, people, they kind of made the mistake that it was going to be there for, forever. It's only going to be a 4-month deal. 4 months when? During the winter time. During Christmas. You have been on my channel before, and you know that I have shown you the historical evidence over and over again that Christmas, the winter solstice, is tied to pagan sun worship. It's about fertility worship. I have shown that over the historical evidence over and over again, and there are people in this movement who will say, no, Zach, you're just pulling this out of the air. There's no evidence to back this up. It's not pagan at all. It's just tradition, Zach. It's just fun tradition that people have come up with. It's not related to fertility worship or pagan sun worship at all. There are people in this movement who say that. It's just ridiculous because you have the historical evidence that shows otherwise, that just knocks it out of the park. But then all you have to do is look at the world around you and what it does, and you see. You just got to have some critical thinking skills. Basic critical thinking skills, and you can see it. A 45-foot tall naked woman next to an obelisk, the DC National Mall. No, that's not related to fertility at all, Zach. No, absolutely not. It's just people in this movement who say this need to be just laughed out of existence. It's so ridiculous. Crazy. So you go to a number of articles and you read about this, and basically this originated at Burning Man, one of the biggest pagan, probably the biggest pagan festival in this country, probably in the world over, that occurs every year. It was debuted in 2015. This woman called Revolution, or Our Evolution, and talks about women. They're basically going to put it there under the guise of women's rights. Women got the right to vote in this country, what, a century ago? But, what's the reality of this? All you have to do is look at their, first off, it comes from, Burning Man. And then you take a look at the people who are running this thing over at their was it GoFundMe? It's a generosity, right? But Indiegogo. Okay, it's an Indiegogo campaign. And you look at this and you see just the imagery and, the people behind this, and you see all of the pagan symbolism behind it. Yeah, they can put it there under the guise of women's rights and that we need women's rights today. But, knowing what we know, what's the real reason? It's pagan symbolism on the National Mall. It's giving you a clear indication of who is in charge of this world. It's not about Trump. It's not about people in Congress. It's not about Obama or past presidents. No, it's about the ruler of this world. Who is that? It's Hasatan. Okay, Satan. And he's just showing you over and over again throughout the symbolism that we see in this video and just throughout our nation as a whole, Georgia Guidestones and all the imagery in DC and all the other places that you see around this country and around the world. Who's in charge? We know who's in charge. Burning Man, starting at Burning Man, Our Evolution, a 45-foot naked woman being placed next to the National Mall, the obelisk, the Washington Monument, on the National Mall. You can go to their Indiegogo page, watch their short little video, and they're trying to raise $90,000. Right now, the statue is located where, of all places, in San Francisco. And they're trying to raise $90,000 to bring it from San Francisco, land of the fruits and the nuts, all the way over to Washington, D.C. You know, so that's, I just had to do a video on this. I could not believe when I saw this that it's so brazen. And the people, you know, who are in charge of this and trying to push it, they're just so deluded. Amazing. And you know, again, it brings back the whole point of the pagan roots of the time of the year we're getting ready to go into. And that is, you know, Christmas. It's the winter solstice. The fertility worship that happens, the sun worship that happens during that time of the year, it has always been about that time of the year. And the Father's Feast, the feast we're getting ready to go into now for Sukkot, we're getting ready to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. He says, these are my feasts. The reason he says these are my feast is not because it's for, you know, it's really his. He's not really saying that. He's saying that these are my feasts because all the other gods in the world, they've got their feast. Most of them being centered around fertility and the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Okay? Christmas and Easter. He's saying, these are my feasts. We're going to do things different. Here's my feast, and then, you know, as to differentiate them from all the other feasts of all the other gods in the world. That's why he says they're my feast. And so when, you know, my friends in Christianity are celebrating these pagan festivals that they have no idea are basically rooted in sun god worship and fertility worship, I just have to point it out to them. They're not in the Bible. You won't find Christmas and Easter in the Bible. What you find are the feast of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are the ones you ought to be keeping. And all you got to do is just look around the rest of the world, see what they're doing. And yeah, unfortunately, this is what they're doing. All right, guys, I just want to make a short video on that. Go home, read your Bible. Thanks.